permanently. We are also taught how to use storytelling, video clips, quotation, VAK, slicing, chunking, looping, transitioning, priming, and other techniques for presentation hooks, anchoring, and engaging the audience. This course also covered script writing, facilitator guide, proposal writing, flyers, and PPT making. For delivery, right pronunciation of words and use of simple language so that even a 6-year-old child can understand very easily. DDMT program has exponentially expanded our knowledge and totally changed our critical thinking and behavior. Application of the gathered knowledge of cognitive science and implicit learning technique in our personal and professional levels already have given us the dividends. There is no doubt that on completion of this DDMT course, each one of us would become successful international master trainer with right practice. I express my sincere gratitude and regards for giving us great opportunity of experiential learning and also for relentless and committed efforts to our mentor, guide, and coach, Arun sir, and other expert faculties like Vaiti sir, Jyoti sir, and Siddharth sir. Thank you, our team members of DDMT1, for your active collaboration, mutual support, and wonderful team spirit. Thank you so much, one and all. Over to Pooja madam. Thank you.
Thank you, Jagdish ji. And yes, you're echoing all that we have gone through in the last 6 months of DDMT and even before that. And our journey continues of learning together. Thank you very much for sharing your thoughts about the DDMT program. As organizations grow and scale up, the most challenging part is for the teams to work together, work cordially together, and most important, to work together to perform. The DMT presentation today is about how you can change the team dynamics and ensure better team synergies and performance output. We have Ms. Neetika Arora sharing with us secrets of managing high performance teams. Ms. Neetika Arora has 17 plus years of experience in ITES sector with expertise in operations, training, data and content management. She has extensive experience and expertise of customer service, sales, employee engagement, financial services, and people management. She has managed various teams in medium to large FTE processes as Vice President Operations. Over the last 7 years, she has worked as a freelance corporate trainer and performance coach and consultant. Her signature trainings are on communication, public speaking, confidence building, presentation skills, campus to corporate transitions, team building, leadership, and motivation. She has completed a management program from Harvard Business School and is a certified quality green belt. During her spare time, she volunteers to teach English to low-income groups for employability. Her mission is to reach out maximum professionals to share her experience and how it can make their life more effective, efficient, and memorable. Let's sit back and understand the secrets from the master herself. Over to you, Neetika.
Thank you so much, Pooja. How many times have you wondered, why can't the team perform as expected? Why is it easy in theory but difficult and practical world. Every individual in the team is selected, hired because they are unique, they are skilled, yet they lack the ability to work together. Remember your gully cricket days when you used to play gully cricket along with your friends, with your buddies? The older guys used to take over the game, or there were some bullies who would take over the game and they will say, we will only do batting, everybody else sit down, you'll only do fielding. So everybody, all the children had to do fielding because only few people could do batting. The colony or school team had individuals, but they all were heroes of their own story, not heroes of one team. So here I am welcoming you, and I invite you to look at this slide. Tell me, who is that hero here? And who's the one who's not got an opportunity to perform in the team? Yes, lovely moment. Everybody's expression's great, but yes, not a team yet, right? Some people are not even getting the opportunity to be part of it because everybody has to be together. If everyone is moving forward together, then success takes care of itself. So today, I am going to take you through my journey. And this is my journey when I joined an organization, as an assistant manager level. This was with HP more than a decade back. I started my career young, and at that time I couldn't afford a business school. Whatever I learned by being part of the team, by joining some of the trainings or fend for yourself, or just work and understand, make mistakes, keep understanding. As I moved along with organizations like GE, HCL, HP, and few more, I got an opportunity to learn more, from well-known industry names, and I attended trainings with them, and I learned a lot. So this was my days when I was handling a technical help desk for a team which was supporting remotely, handling customer issues who were in Australia, New Zealand, and we were taking care of scan jets, test jets, and some amount of operating system and mobile phones, and how can they talk to each other. So there was certain section of the help desk with us at that time. But when I walked in, and this was quite a scare, and I was so excited. I have joined this organization as an assistant manager, just got promoted. Wow, this is going to be amazing. But I go there, I just see unhappy, scared faces, people who lacked confidence. So I was intrigued. I checked what happened. Their CSAT score, which was their customer satisfaction score, was very low. Their other performance statistics were even not looking promising at that time. So then I said, okay, let's look at what is the reason. Why are there so many lost and expressionless faces on the floor? Why are people not, feeling like, today is the day to help all our customers? That kind of a feeling I was not getting at all. And we had all the reds in our scores, and clearly something was wrong. What do you think was wrong with the team? Disconnected? Maybe something was a crack with them? Yes, there were certain things that were not working. So let's look a little further. I can take an answer if anybody did unmute. So I'll tell you what happened the first week that I joined. And this is my initial observation of what I saw. I looked at these faces, fear, what happened? I met the team leaders, tried to understand the team leaders a little better. So I started asking myself. And all I saw was the positives, because this is my initial observation. The TLs bonded very well. The TLs knew all the team members on the floor. In fact, it was difficult to differentiate between a team leader, whether they are from which team, so all the team leaders knew all of them. Team members were bonded with all the team leaders. They knew each other. They by and large said that, okay, these are the people that we are working with. Technically, the team leaders were really good. Some of the team members, they even had better knowledge than the team leaders. If I look at communication, computer skills, soft skills, some of them were really good. Some of them, little trainable, but still workable. It cannot be so bad. So what was going wrong with them? Why is it that their scores were not looking good at all? So I had to find out where their leak was. What is causing all of this to happen? So I started unfolding a little bit more. And as I started unfolding, I started seeing more things. I started seeing things that I had not guessed at that time. We had all the statistical reports, everything, what time a person logs in, comes to the office, because we were using a tool called Avaya. We knew their total talk time. We knew their total break time. We knew the total time that they're taking for research, time they are taking for trainings. All the data was available. We just knew exactly what was happening on the floor. But then people did not know how to interpret that, understand it, and use it to make the process more sharpened, to make and plug these gaps somewhere. CSAT data was coming every month. And the good thing about the CSAT data was, yeah, I agree that we got a lot of dissatisfaction scores, but our customers in the comment box itself used to tell us what is it that didn't go well. We could look at, we even used to get the recorded calls at times. So we could look at those calls and figure out what was it that was wrong with that call and could have gone better. But people did not know how to analyze it. They didn't know how to use it. So much information, yet we did not know how to plug it and enhance the experience of the customer. We had the equipment on the floor, but they were sitting like a centerpiece, not connected, not plugged, not ready to use, not connected to a laptop. They were there, you could see, have a good feel of a ScanJet or a DeskJet or an AIO, but you could not use it because it was not connected to anything. And mostly customers had issues with connecting. We had a quality score form that was being given to the agents, and people would just follow the rules of the quality form. And at times, those rules used to cause them to lose their score. And when they used to lose their score, they used to feel really bad. So if they wanted to go out of way and give a solution to the customer, they did not know whether they should follow it or not. Will they get a low quality score if they went out of way to help the customer or not? As people were confused, they did not know what to do, they were a little lost, we started seeing absenteeism issues, and maybe people were looking out for a job. Team leaders had tried anything and everything. They had failed. They just knew that they had to do something better. They wanted to ensure that we make the correction, but how? Who is it who's going to guide them to do it? And that's our customer. He was really disappointed. And then we also had a threat that maybe we might just lose the process very soon. So in a situation, what do you think I did? Because I had just joined the organization and I had few other offers. So should I just go and take those offers or go back and fix it piece by piece? Obviously, I chose the difficult one because I really felt that it is possible to fix this team management issue, because all they had to do was become a team. It had two components. One of the component for achieving the performance excellence as per the client expectation was based on the team management techniques, which is the outer layer. The inner layer is the performance management techniques. So today I'm only going to talk about how to manage high performance teams. So only would talk about the team management techniques. and the performance techniques in a subsequent section or a subsequent session. So as we move along, and as I started digging more, started talking to people, started understanding, okay, they have these issues, they have data, they don't know how to analyze. But it is about time that I've been in the organization for 1 month. What is my final deep dive? What are the changes that I can make here or we can make here as a group? And what is the help I require from the management to do that? So let's just look at what is it that were the final deep dive areas. We just needed analytics and communication. Somebody who could analyze, bifurcate, understand that data. When you look at data, all you see is numbers, 10 minutes spent in average 10 minutes spent in average handle time, which is handling the call, customer call. What does it mean? How do you change it? Is it good? Is it bad? Then you see data like, okay, you got out of 10 surveys, there were 5 customers who gave a dissatisfaction score. Is this dissatisfaction score related to their ability, or is it related to our ability? Sujata ji, was there a question?
I'm sorry, was there a disturbance? Sorry.
Oh, okay, thank you. So it was important that we analyze, bifurcate the data, understand and convert it into simple language and say that, okay, based on this data, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 has to be done. And that has to be communicated in a certain manner with the team members as well as the team leaders. We needed to create a performance-friendly environment, an environment where performance thrives. We need to have a strong connect, not only with the, within the team members, the organization, team leaders, everything. That bond has to be really strong for it to give returns. Visibility, HR and training. So my final deep dive really took out the 4 areas where I could bucketize and say, these are the 4 things that I can attack and do better. Whenever we go to a doctor, do you think the doctor gives us, a medicine based on the external symptoms? You say, I have a headache. Do you think he'll just give you a Crocin? Wouldn't he? Shouldn't he just give you a Crocin? Just say that it'll take care of your headache?
No.
He wouldn't, right?
We're testing.
So Mathaji, what will he do then?
Then he will give you a test, laboratory test or medicine.
Yeah. So if you have headache, and headache is because of fever, or also along with that, he will start observing other symptoms also, right, Mathurji?
Yes, sir.
He will say, okay, you are coughing, so maybe you have cough. He might say that there is a lot of congestion in the lungs. So then based on all the tests, he can either identify it as a viral infection, or it can identify, it can be another infection. So should he look at the external symptoms, what seems, or find out after a deep dive that the real cause of the problem is? Should he fix the real cause, or should he just give it based on the external symptoms that he saw? So no. Madhurji, will you give Crocin, or the final, if it says that it's a viral?
No, final, after testing, whatever the conclusion will come, then we will initiate about medicines. Not randomly that Crocin there and okay. No, that is not the permanent solution of the.
Perfectly said, Markuji. So exactly what I wanted to say about, a situation wherein we had a team management issue over here and a performance management issue over here. We had an issue over here which had to be fixed. But we cannot look only at the symptom, because we need to find out the root cause and fix it from there. So hence, at this stage, if you really look at, like if there is a leakage in if there's a pipe burst, for example, pipe is bursted, what are you going to do? Initially, maybe for a short term, you might use an adhesive and say, let me fix it over here. Later on, you'll say, okay, I'll change the pipe. But unless you find out the reason for the pipe burst, you're not really fixing the issue, are you? If you want a long-term fix, then you need to ensure that you find out what is the reason. Maybe the water pressure is causing the pipe burst. So hence changing the pipe will not help, but correcting the water pressure will help. And then changing the pipe so that it's long-term. The same way, if I get a bad CSAT score, I am an agent, I receive a bad customer satisfaction score. Customer says, I am dissatisfied with Neetika. Should I be yelled at? Am I the one who made the mistake? A deep dive, when you start looking at the actual comments, you realize that he says that your technical person never visited me. But the person on the phone helped me very well. She was excellent. Now, is it Neetika's issue? Because Neetika only spoke on the phone. A technical issue is sitting in Australia, will go to the customer's house and fix the issue. So hence, when we start looking at the actual problem is when we actually solve it. So we know that there is a problem with this particular technician who visits the house, takes an appointment but doesn't go. So fixing Neetika will not help, but fixing that technician is going to help. Hence, rule number 1, whenever we are looking for a fix, we should always look for a long-term fix and not for a short-term fix or a short-term turnaround. Because long-term fixes are the only way that you can turn around, a team, you can turn around the way the team dynamics can work. I'm going to, I converted, all the 4 C's of the team management, the resolution to the problem into 4 C's of team management. So whatever 4 problems that I identified as part of my deep dive, I took a solution and I'm sharing today my secret with you. This is the key to high performance teams. So let's look at what it is. Our root cause was analytics and communication, performance-friendly environment, strong connect, HR, and training. The secret, my mantra. Communication, which is the first C, based on the analysis. A conducive environment. Connect. Personal connect, emotional connect, clear-cut HR and training policies. Let's look at whether it is answering each and every problem statement that we had or I had at that point in time or not. The first one, analytics and communication, was converted into communication based on analysis. Because while you do the analysis first, but for the team members, it's only the communication that matters, not the whole journey of analysis and the data charts. An environment which is conducive for them, an environment they want to perform, an environment they want to grow, an organization, a culture of an organization where they want to stay in. A strong connect with the members, emotional connect, a bond between members, between the members and team leaders, the team members, the team managers, as well as the organization. HR training has an important role. Their presence is really important, and they are the ones, and we are going to look at all these points a little more in detail so that we really understand what the 4 C's actually mean.
4 C's.
Yes.
4 C.
The 4 C's of team management. So if we need to manage high performance teams, we need essential elements to create team synergies by way of team communication, creating a conducive environment, having an emotional connect with and within staff members, clear-cut HR and training policies, which as an outcome can give the pinnacle team performance. The first one was, and I have spent a lot of time in telling that statistics importance. Analytics is a big field, which is it's going to be a separate field now with emotional intelligence in place and the robots taking care of everything. It's the computer generation. But analytics is one thing which is going to stay only with the human brain, because the computers can give us the reports. The interpretation only can be done by a human brain. So when we do our analysis based on the data that is given to us, for a team member, we need, what he wants is only communication. So we need to understand what is that communication, what are those subcategories of communication for the team members, because that data is different. It is just telling us how to improve and do better, but still communication is a broader picture. It tells us what and how we are going to improve. It tells the team member the hows. It tells him how to be secure about what they are doing is right or not. They fit in the organization perfectly or not. First step, for sure, they clearly need clear-cut job role and responsibilities. They need their individual goals and key performance indicators. I have been talking about CSAT. If CSAT score is what it takes to be their performance indicator, one has to clearly state that this amount and this level of CSAT is required. If their performance is number of calls in a day, one has to state. If number of days of scheduled attendance or scheduled, if they are any uninformed absenteeism, what is the KPI in that? So anything and everything that indicates their performance, which will be measured in the long run, so that they can look at their statistics and say that I did right by the customer. I did right by the organization. I did right by the remuneration that I'm receiving, and I'm good to go here. Timely relevant updates are really important for in an organization, and especially in a technical help desk. If you do not receive timely updates, and that goes for anything or any other organization, and I'll state a technical example. Say there is a problem with some certain software, and one software is not talking to a certain printer, and that's a bug that has been noticed. The first thing that has to be done is the team members have to be informed so that they are able to communicate to the customer, probably arrange a callback for a later time. So if the communication is not done, the agent tries to fix it, wastes his time, receives a bad score, it is not his fault. So we have to ensure that we are informing small to bigger things in a timely manner, but in a tone and a language that they are able to receive. We only go out to people when they make mistakes, when we think that something went wrong. But if we actually just go to them and just speak in a language that they receive, because when you're yelling, using harsh words, nothing goes in your mind. All is there is noise over there in your ears. You don't hear anything. So that language and tone has to be controlled so that the person is able to hear. Dr. Jaychand, you have a question?
Carry on, carry on, carry on.
I'm requesting all of you to please keep yourself on mute. Thank
No
you.
question, no question.
So it has to be in a language which is the receiver's bill of rights. We want to talk a lot of jargons, and I deliberately had a KPI here, which is a jargon. A lot of people not from the same industry will say, what is KPI? But then when you're talking to your team members, use a language which is easy for them to understand. That is the receiver bill of right. They need to understand whether it is working for them or it is not working for them. So team members were taken care of. But then communication is not related to team members, right? The team we are talking about, a set of 20 people reporting to one team leader. Now, there has to be something that has to be done with the team leader as well. Communication for them is also important. They also are part of the team, including the team manager. What is it that we are doing for the team leader? What do you think could be, the possible things in terms of communication for the team leader then? Any one person can unmute and respond if they want to.
So what exactly you want to know, please?
Yes.
Yeah, can I
So
come?
for a team member, okay, I'll cite an example. For a
Yes,
team
sir.
member, you said give them a clear-cut job role and responsibility. For an
Yes.
individual, give him an individual goal,
Yes.
and his
Yes.
performance indicator. Timely updates that, say it in a language they understand so that they receive the information in a better manner. Give it in simple words. Give it in, don't give them big statistics, give them small things that they can do. So something like you can get a good customer satisfaction score by giving good customer service in terms of only giving resolutions to your customers. Concentrate on resolving the issue. Don't look at anything else because that's what you are here for. So for team members, these are few categories for communication. What do you think could be the category for the team leaders?
Team leader, in my view, of course, he should be very sweet communication, but sweet and sour, blow hot, blow cold. So he should be very impactful. No doubt, he should be very humble also in talking, total clarity, but he should be like Arun Saab, he should be very forceful also, very impactful also. That's why I use the word sweet and sour and blow hot, blow cold. So both things he should be there. And then whatever the communication is there, so it should be properly communicated by tools, whatever you are using. Communication data should be properly retrievable, easy retrievable, and updated from time to time. Thank you.
Excellent. Thank you, Anil sir. So yes, when he is communicating in terms of the language, has to be that with the tarka. The receiver bill of right has to be with tarka or less tarka. So that he has to do anyways, right? Like we discussed. But when the team manager is communicating to the team leader, what is it that the team leader is supposed to do then? He needs to tell him, what are your clear-cut deliverables and expectations? I have told you, your team members have to do X, Y, Z, but you have to do X, Y, Z, and A, B, C, D as well. If I don't say it very clearly to them, they will still be confused because that's where we started with. They had tried everything but failed. So if they've had to do it better, they need to understand what is it that is the expectation of the organization. What is it that I have to deliver and do better? Analytics is not easy. Believe me, it is very difficult to look at data blankly, look at a huge Excel sheet, which has, CSAT data and has the comments from the customer. One has to tell them, how is it that you look for that information? Where out of this big sheet, the information is available? If he knows how to do that and derive that data on his own, he will be able to guide the team better. If he sees that most of the issues are coming with an XYZ operating system only and a particular AIO only, and my team is not able to resolve that issue, he will do the research and will be able to train them. He will pick up the common issues that the agents are facing and communicate how to do it better. So they have to be communicated how to analyze. Sometimes, yes, you have to, you suddenly from a manager, you become a teacher and you explain these things to them. And if they are able to understand it, they will be able to implement it in a better manner. So this was my learning at that time. How do you assign the work every day to the team? So in a technical process, there are a lot of sub things that we look at, and if you are in a customer environment and a customer is reaching out to customer service, he will always have issues which are either already solved, which are either pending or open for other departments. So if we have this kind of situation, you need to assign people to all these three buckets, and the new calls are also coming. So that work assignment, they have to understand and give it out to the members. They also need to start sharing the reports with the team members, receiving the reports from the team manager, and maybe learn how to create those reports and dashboards. which happens over a period of time. How it really works, no one person can do everything on the floor. If there are special responsibilities given to people, we have one person per week who's taking care of our presentations each week in WAC right now, in WAC Solutions, right? Pooja is the buddy who is helping us this entire week for all of us. Why is it? Because apart from learning, she's also taken care of a special responsibility. There was a time when all of us were revising together for a Diploma de Master course. Special responsibility, everybody used to prepare one presentation, give it out. Or one team leader used to take care of the revisions. Why? Because the special responsibility enhances your skills also, and also ensures that the work is done. But the most important one that I'm sharing with you now. So I want you to look at it and think about it. Because for a team leader to do all that work and ensure that he performs and his team performs, or she performs and her team performs, she wants to know what is in it for me. They want to know, if I do this, what do I get? Everybody wants a practical response to this. That yes, I met the KPI. Maybe a person has an expectation that yes, maybe there is a career growth, maybe remuneration, maybe incentive, maybe satisfaction, but that has to be answered at all times, because once your resources, they learn, they might leave the organization as well. If this is answered at the right time, it always helps. So communication is not only the style of communication, or not only the language of communication, but also different factors of communication which are important, which helps. So any questions from the communication for team members or team leaders, or additions? What else you think could work for the team?
Can I
Anil
come?
sir? Yes, Anil sir.
See, as a leader, I will ask my team, what one thing I should do to become a good leader? And what one thing you want me to avoid? So from my team. Thank you.
So in terms of communication and understanding, and that's a very valid point, Anil sir, that you have brought up, that what is it? What is my leadership style? How do I lead? I know that that's not the per se topic, but I will keep it in parking, because when it picks up in the chronological order of my 3 C's, I will talk about it at that time. Sure, Anil sir?
Yeah. Yes, please. You want me to answer?
Yeah, so I will pick up the guidance part and the leadership style part, in the right portion as well. So that I'm noting it, and I put it in by parking, and I will talk about it, and we come back when we reach that place when we are talking about it. So moving on, when I move on, I want you to look at the screen, and I want you to tell me, what is team management have to do with this plant? Any thoughts? Is there any relevance?
Yes, proper care, and some soil is required. Soil is required.
Mhm.
Different colors coming together. Flower is of blue color, leaves of green color, and the soil in black color.
Mhm.
Everybody is unique. You
People
have
with
to
different.
do one-to-one communication as well as one-to-many. So you
Do
have
you
to
think
communicate.
this plant is a team, works as a team?
Yes.
What part works as a team? The root, the shoot, everything? They're all working together in sync with each other, right?
Yes. Synergy.
Yes, they are a team, right? But my question to you is, we all talk about a plant needs a conducive environment, to thrive. Have you heard that in the past? Conducive environment for a plant to thrive. What
Yes,
is that
yes.
conducive environment for a plant to thrive then?
Yes, yes.
So could you tell me what is the conducive environment for a plant to thrive?
A conducive environment for the plant is that it needs soil which is full of nutrients which the plant requires, and then the sunlight for the photosynthesis, and then of course water. These three things are very important: the sunlight, the water, and the soil with the nutrients.
Your roots are opening to sun. That's why it requires soil.
Mhm.
So if the soil is okay for the plant, then rightly said by Mahesh, everything he has told, the temperature, the air, wind velocity, environment, and which season. So that is also, it doesn't grow in all the season. The season is also required depending upon the temperature, humidity, everything, water contents and fertilizers is required. Day-to-day caring is required. Thank you.
So very nicely summed up by all of you. It requires the sunlight. It requires oxygen, carbon dioxide, right? It requires a soil which has the nutrition in it, right? It
And
requires the water. So all of this put together is creating a conducive environment in which the plant is thriving, along with the temperature, around the climatic conditions as well, which helps it thrive. Now I want you to look at a team. What could be a conducive environment, which I will just give a hint. That conducive environment converts into the culture of an organization. So what do you think could be a conducive environment for a team to thrive? So I'm going to give you 20 minutes to discuss this. Here is the Pooja, could you help me with the, maybe 15 minutes should be enough?
Yeah, so we are 27 participants, so I'll open 3 breakout rooms.
Okay. Any questions?
Yes, what are the factors
required to create a conducive environment for the team members, or conducive environment for the team to perform? What makes them perform?
So I suggest you can take a screenshot of this before we get into the breakout rooms. And Neetika, you want it to be a 15-minute activity?
I think 15 minutes should do justice to
Okay,
it.
great. So I'm opening all the breakout rooms. So I'm requesting all the participants to please enter the breakout rooms.
Yeah. So once you put your summation together, one person can submit it or share it, once you're back. So any one person can do.
Okay, thank you.
I think most of them have joined the rooms. So I think you can start visiting the rooms if you want.
So I just press the join and then I come back, right? Something like that?
Yeah, or I can send you, I'll send you to room number 3 first. Is it okay?
Yeah, okay. I
Yeah.
think I figured out how to go there.
Oh,
I saw.
great. Yeah. Lot of discussions happening.
Hi, Ritu.
Hi.
Hi, we are in a breakout activity. So
Okay.
people still have another 5 minutes to come back. So
Okay.
either you join one of the groups or wait here and then people can.
Yeah, actually,
join.
I joined room number 3, but then I stepped out because the discussion was already happening.
Okay, there's still only 3 minutes remaining. So you can
Okay.
choose to be here.
Yeah.
Okay. So I'm going to just visit another breakout room and come back in the meantime. Pooja, you were saying something.
Yeah, so it is 1 minute to go. So I've closed the breakout rooms. Lot of discussions happening in the breakout rooms. So great.
Yeah,
Lot of
good.
buzz.
I don't have to spend so much time in the answer. It seems the mystery is already cracked.
So are you looking at another breakout room, or this is going to be the only breakout room?
This is going to be the only breakout.
Okay. So another 30 seconds, they'll all be back. So there are new participants of DNT2 also today. So
Excellent. Very good. I saw some of them participating and giving ideas in the breakout room. Oh, everybody's back.
not yet. There are 28 of us. So another 10 seconds.
Okay.
Yeah, the countdown has begun. Yeah. The rooms are closed now.
Yes, ma'am, we are back.
Is everybody back?
Yeah, 26 are there. Maybe 2 or 3 have to come. Okay.
Okay. If there's no breakout room, where did they go? So used to root cause analysis right now. Right?
Root cause.
So how was the experience? How was the breakout room activity?
Fantastic.
Fantastic. I think I enjoyed being part of each group.
Yes,
Excellent, marvelous.
The mystery is already cracked. So let's hear from room number 2.
Room number 2. Oh, Maheshji. Maheshji. Maheshji, where are you? Yes.
You were surprised.
You are under surprisation. Eh?
So we have lots of points. So conducive environment for team members to perform is all members shall be free with each other to share their knowledge and problem sharing. Also, role clarity should be there in the team, which the team leader should allocate. Authority and responsibility and accountability should be there. There should be a productive environment amongst the team members in the workplace. So connectivity of the actions of individual team members, that is coordination among the team members is very important. Harmony and all these coordination is very important. So there should also be a work-life balance for the employee. So he is happy at work and is happy at home. So both of the things should be there. Work-life balance at office, workplace, as well as the home. Only the higher authorities, I could not get this. This was taken from the chat box. I think level 1, level 2, level 3 employee. The management must give each one a responsibility. I don't know. It was taken from the chat box. Just we'll move on. The organization must create a bridge between the team members, so that there should be communication between the team members, and also people should talk to the concerned person to work clearly and effectively. And we have an acronym, HONEST. In HONEST, H stands for healthy relation, O stands for openness, N stands for need of resources, E stands for enthusiasm among members, S stands for security of job, and T stands for truthful communication. And lastly, impartial feedback and feed forward should be there. And last but not the least, recognition of performance of each individual team member should be there. So that's all we discussed in our room. Thank you so much.
Yes. And in work-life balance, we have discussed that like a plant required water.
Yes, it needs
if we give more water, then it will be destroyed. If we give less water, then it will.
And the water, all these things are required. Just like we require all these things in a team, we require all those things for a water, for a plant to bloom. Thank you. Thank you.
Excellent. Very well cracked. I love the work-life balance and I love the abbreviation as well. The HONEST. Excellent job.
Honest is given by Vishal.
Very good. So some of the crucial points covered by your group. Let's see what group number 1 has to say. Yes, group number 1. I think Atul ji was there in that group. Sujata ji was there. Nagi sir was there.
But I think Nagi Reddy sir had deducted a lot of information. I hope he's in a situation to represent the room. Yes.
Go ahead.
No, the acronym what you explained, I think that was the weightage.
I'll add on the part. I think you have the good adequate. Only I chipped at the last moment. Go ahead. I'll add up later.
All right, sir.
Normally, when leader presents, I will not present. With your permission, I'll present it after you. Okay?
Oh my.
Okay. This is how the team works.
All right. Okay. Room number 1. The word was buzzing. We were teaming with ideas, and it is like in a kind of a key phraseology, I could say. First thing is there should be an acceptance of similarities. There should be a respect towards differences. Then there should be an integrity factor. And at the same time, I think a collaboration also is one of the prime pointers in this kind of a network. And there were a few more, which I missed out. I think Atul sir is here. He added a little.
Yes.
Yes, Atul sir, your viewpoint.
Okay, I can add in, but most of the points have already said. What I had said was, just a second, that sometimes in a team we need more of empowerment. So that is the trust has to be there. And while people are empowered, there are also some controls required so that they don't go out. So some maker-taker system also has to be there. Second, they have to be given enough challenge so that they try out differently. If they have the empowerment to try out differently, so they are not working by the routine authority role. They're also working in a lead role. So they take different initiatives, looking into the existing process to do things differently. And because they have the empowerment and because the leadership style in this environment is such that they will be allowed to fail also. And from failure, they have to drive the learning. So then people will be empowered to bring out more and more solutions. So there is encouragement of process creativity. So it is not that all are doers. In the doers, there are certain people who will be leading the process of change that, okay, even small things can we do it differently, or at least ask a different question. Although in an organization, we say go follow the standard SOPs. But what are in the standard SOPs which has to be followed, and what are the things which can be further improved? So that sort of a climate in which we keep improving ourselves again and again and again. I think that really makes it. And what one of them said was work-life balance. And sometimes I find in these teams, work-life balance is actually sometimes not there, because people are enjoying their work so much that they feel more enthused in working extra than saying that, okay, I'm going back after this extra 5 hours. This was my thing, but it's the same things, just adding a different flavor.
Excellent summation, Pooja and Sujata ji. Very well, said. Loved some of the key points. I'm sure, when I actually talk further, you'll say that I already said that. Didn't I say that already? Because you already got the cat out of the bag.
Neetika, from group number 1, I want to add one more point.
Yes, Naren sir.
It is definition of leadership. Performance of a team depends on the efficient leader. And leadership is making people do what you want them to do, not because you are telling, but they want to do it.
Very good.
That increases the performance of the team. Thank you.
Excellent.
What about Nagi,
whether conducive environment or not, but this is a very valid point, and we will be talking about it. So very good summation. Team number 1. Which team is left? Team number 3.
No, would Nagi sir like to add, because he had a little footage here?
Do you have time, Neetika?
Yes.
Maybe a minute, maybe more.
Okay, I'll make it very fast.
Yeah.
We started, why actually you have the team? There's a purpose for the team, right? And if you take there's an acronym, the very thing ingredient that is together, each one achieves more. And how do they do that? All of the team members are not homogeneous, they're heterogeneous entities. Each one have their own different value system. These are the driving factors. Now you got to know whom to delegate, whom not to delegate, how much to delegate, how much less or more, and what's the efficiency, and all that stuff is going to be. So each person operates from his or her level of value systems. And this is where, if every member knows of the team strength, I coined it, this must be workable. For workability, there is something powerful equation like Einstein equation is equal to mc squared, something like I c squared r squared. I, integrity. C, one C is commitment, another C is communication. An R is relationship, another R is responsibility. How they're going to take it? And when I say it is responsibility, responsibility is never a burden. Responsibility is being caused in the matter. When people operate from that front, they work with passion. And this is where you bring in the elements of Ikigai stuff. Together, the team, we do what we're capable of. We do what we like, and we do what the world wants, and we do what the world pays for it. And this is the one they very rare to get across stressed. They don't carry stress. So they operate from the level of passion, and this is where they deliver results beyond what the organization expects. Thank you. That's my 2 cents.
Excellent. With a lot of passion also, Nagi sir. So you added the passion with passion. So yes, we are passionate to teamwork. Excellent summation. Which is the last one? Group number 3.
3.
Let's hear it from them.
You see, I am in group number 3. So this is the contribution from our team. So of course, Nagi sir told PhD. He should be passion, hunger, and discipline. This is everywhere. So when we started, and leader should be turnaround type. He can change, the organization from, as Atul is always telling and doing it, from losses, from bankruptcy to profitability. This is the art of the leader. So then he should encourage the engagement of the team. The team should always be engaged. They should not find themselves, some people in silo. Total synergy should be there. And clarity of goals, what, why, and how. Everybody should understand. So what I'm going to do, why I'm going to do, how I'm going, so that they will be more engaged when they understand. And then we must understand processes are very important, but the most important thing is our own people. People are most important thing. Then Minimax. What is Minimax? Minimax means when you are not able to complete some project or you are going in losses, how to minimize maximum losses. This is Minimax. How you can reduce your maximum losses. This is must the leader and the team should be able to do it. Then leader must understand the realistic capabilities of the team. He should not unnecessarily, put some roles and responsibilities, and he as per the capability of the person, he should try to allocate it. Then, of course, everybody told work-life balance and time to time entertainment. He should create some conducive atmosphere for their families also and for individuals also. So then the next point is he should be a delegative type. He should not be a I will do myself, or he should create some hero in the team. No, he should delegate complete job, balanced job to the complete team and empowerment. And leader has to be impartial, unbiased. He should not entertain individual, any backbiting, or try to see that the groups are formed within the group. That he should try to have total control on this thing. And he has to be a very good listener. Total, he should show his commitment. He should always be smiling, create the atmosphere, trust and smile in the team, like Neetika and all. Some people are always, when you find them, most of us are smiling. Then the leader has to understand total 20-80 principle. There are 20%, works which will give 80% productivity. Then leader must do psychological safety, like Dr. Dhawan and Abdul Kalam. So whenever there was some mistake, Dr. Dhawan would adopt it. He will just say, I am the one who is responsible. And whenever some achievement is there, he will give to Abdul Kalam. So that he should give the credit to the team. Then one-to-one and one-to-many. So he should create relation, not silo type, as already told. Then we have already discussed urgent and important. So time management is very important. So he has to understand the importance of the time. So not unnecessary burden also, and create time for entertainment, for family life, for work also. He should be good in this thing. So then boundaries of authorities, which we learned from Arun Saab also. So always he tells the leader has to understand what are the boundaries of his authority. He should not go on. He should know, as I told, blow hot, blow cold, or sweet and sour. He must be balanced type. He must be totally acceptable type person. His communication should be, very good. So even he is doing monitoring, so he should tell. So your progress is now good. So you tell me further how you are going to improve it. We want the team to, our goals are very high. Please, I want you to not, he should not be say you do this or you do that. Not that. He should be a motivative type leadership. Then his expectation and validation, whatever he wants, it should be total clarity to the team. So what exactly aligned with the goals and what are our expectations? And there should be time to time celebrations also when we achieve the goals. And he should be a good, right decision maker. And leader should also be a mentor. He should also try to understand what are the gaps, what are the weaknesses, and try to plug them from time to time in a very cordial way. And he should have problem solving skills. And so then whatever the goals are, he should try to stretch his team further and try to motivate them so that they achieve higher and higher. Thank you very much to my team for this point. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Anilji. In 15 minutes, you were able to put all the 28 points together. Wow, awesome. Could you unshare?
Yes.
Very good summation, team 3. I think good. I could see a lot of synergies in all the 3 teams that I saw. Good job, for sure. Some of these points, when I talked about my 4 C's, my first one was communication. Some of the points between the teams that you shared belong to communication bit. Some were understood, some were said. Some of the points are related to conducive environment, and we are going to look at it. Some of them could possibly be some part of connect, the emotional connect. So let's see as we unfold and we go further. So when I said the team needed a performance-friendly environment, I meant a place where people have their own space to implement their learnings and freedom to perform in a guided environment, where only constructive feedback is given to people. People are treated with respect and integrity and dignity. Let's look at what makes the environment conducive for an individual. So I'm going to share the summation. Give me a second. So for first starters, the first one had to be mutual trust and respect. A lot of you spoke about it. We have to be genuine when we work with people. We have to make them feel part of the team, that they belong. If we trust people, people automatically trust us back and they tend to perform. If we just monitor them, penalize them, use negative motivation in terms of the penalties that we continue to, put on people, it'll never work. It'll only work when the trust comes, and the trust and the faith comes, the performance comes, the motivation and the bond comes. The second one for sure, inclusiveness. A lot of dynamic team they call it inclusiveness at this point in time. A lot of you have pointed that out to, in your discussions. Transparency, empowerment. I think all the 3 teams spoke about empowerment. Delegate the work, but give them the space to perform. Be on standby if they need help, but don't keep on nitpicking. Do let them work in that solitude. Keeping commitments is also part of inclusiveness. No, because I like somebody else. No, you shouldn't, try and give out to only the few people. If you have committed to something, whether the team or otherwise, make sure you do that. Otherwise, just don't make the commitment. No, if you cannot fulfill it. Support. Now, if a person has to go on calls and talk to the customer and take care of that customer's issue, the person has to have a free mind. A person cannot carry a weight on the shoulder. So support is required. Not only how do I perform my job, how do I do it better, what are the technical knowledge required and soft skill, but at times you even need to support in terms of non-work related transactions. Say somebody is having some trouble at home, somebody just came to you and said that my mother is not well and I'm really concerned about her health. Would you need any help? Do you think I can give you a contact of a good doctor? Maybe just sharing that contact, relieve that person of all the tension that that person had, and he could go back and could take the call and take care of it. So he could be in the moment and handle the call instead of thinking about his mother at that time. So at times, sometimes non-work related transactions also are required in inclusiveness. Next, important one, equal and fair opportunities. Some of you did point it out, but a person is motivated to work, motivated to be part of the team only when he thinks that they're being treated with equality and with equity. Very important that at all time in time, we are fair with all the members in the organization. We are fair and do justice to the policies that are also given out to them. Or whatever we are telling them, we are fair about it. We are accommodating as well at all point in time with the employees. We also need to have a diverse culture. Now, when we talk about diversity, I know that diversity also includes gender diversity. When you constantly hear that, oh God, if there is a woman constantly, sees somebody passing comment at them because she's a woman, or again, her child must be crying, so she cannot take the calls. We tend to make these kind of comments, or we tend to believe that it might not work for them. So be diverse in such a situation. If somebody has to perform, they have to have an on-the-job training. They have to have some basics how to perform. If you just tell somebody to just pick up the call, and I must tell you, the first call I took, we were given the process. We were told this is how you handle the phone. And I am talking the year 1999. And I got a call from a customer. I wasn't even ready that the American accent is so difficult to understand. I just didn't know what to do. So I wasn't equipped to handle it. If had somebody told me, the customer says, I have a parking ticket issue, you have to look at book number 5 at page number 10, or some kind of an index where to find the solution from, I could have handled that call better, or could have handled the customer's situation better. The same way, a basic training before getting on the shop floor or start working on transactions for the customer is very important. And that is not only giving process training, that is also letting the person see some transactions and try and understand how to handle those transactions. The next one of the important ones, every milestone has to be celebrated. Ensure that you create a de-stressful environment. Use your team engagement funds if need be, but always always celebrate. Always, even if it just means that you're just clapping on the floor, but celebrate it, because with the next with one milestone, when you celebrate, you're ready for the next one. This means that your team's performance can get better and better. After all, we are talking about a high performance team. We are not talking a mediocre performing team. We are talking about high performance here. And a lot of you said this, creating a happy and light environment and creating work-life balance, like you all said. That is the thing that we need to do at all point in time. And after the COVID times, believe me, people have tasted work-life balance. They have tasted that they need to spend time with their families. So at this point in time, it is important that that has to be part of the culture, and that has to be part of the conducive environment. So once we started putting all these things in place, created a conducive environment, our CSAT score started picking up. We obviously had controls and communication in place. Our agents knew how they have to perform, what they have to perform. Things were getting better, and they were, they were getting on a positive side. I want you to look at this video. It's a little summation of some points we discussed, but it'll also tell us something about the value of a connect. And in this video, when we talk about incivility here, we mean behavior that is not civil, rude, and appalling. So let me stop the screen share and share the video. Give me 1 second.
I study the effects of
incivility on people. What is incivility? It's disrespect or rudeness. It includes a lot of different behaviors, from mocking or belittling someone, to teasing people in ways that sting, to telling offensive jokes, to texting in meetings. So we launched a study on the effects of incivility on performance and the bottom line. And what we found was eye-opening. We sent a survey to business school alumni working in all different organizations. And we asked them to write a few sentences about one experience where they were treated rudely, disrespectfully, or insensitively, and to answer questions about how they reacted. One person told us about a boss that made insulting statements like, "That's kindergartner's work." And another tore up someone's work in front of the entire team. And what we found is that incivility made people less motivated. 66% cut back work efforts, 80% lost time worrying about what happened, and 12% left their job. Cisco read about these numbers and estimated conservatively incivility was costing them $12 million a year. But what about if you're not the one who experiences it? What if you just see or hear it? In another study in a small group, we tested the effects of a peer insulting a group member. Now, what we found was really interesting because witnesses' performance decreased too, and not just marginally, quite significantly. Incivility is a bug. It's contagious, and we become carriers of it just by being around it. So if incivility has such a huge cost, why do we still see so much of it? The number one reason is stress. People feel overwhelmed. The other reason that people are not more civil, they believe they'll appear less leader-like. They wonder, do nice guys finish last? Well, it turns out in the long run, they don't. In a biotechnology firm, colleagues and I found that those that were seen as civil were twice as likely to be viewed as leaders, and they performed significantly better. Why does civility pay? Because people see you as an important and a powerful, unique combination of two key characteristics: warm and competent, friendly and smart. So where do you start? How can you lift people up and make people feel respected? Well, the nice thing is it doesn't require a huge shift. Small things can make a big difference. I've found that thanking people, sharing credit, listening attentively, humbly asking questions, acknowledging others, and smiling has an impact. What I know from my research is that when we have more civil environments, we're more productive, creative, helpful, happy, and healthy. We can do better. Each one of us can be more mindful and can take actions to lift others up around us, at work, at home, online, in schools, and in our communities. In every interaction, think, who do you want to be?
Think back
Very good.
your discussions. Think back what she said. What do you think, are the key things that she's pointing out when she's talking about incivility here and its impact?
You want us?
Be who we want to be.
You want us to?
Any one or two people can just respond.
What do you want? To speak
okay.
again?
No. All I wanted was, what do you think her message is?
Excellent.
Is her message that yes, sometimes
Yes.
these small things only matter?
Yes.
You know what COVID did to all of us? It
Yes.
took us back to basics. It took us back where we were. It taught us how to wash our hands. It told us how to do the namaste instead of shaking hands. Keep social distancing. What we learned from there is back to basics, no matter what level we reach, no matter what kind of teams we are managing, whether we are managing it as a team leader, as a manager, as an assistant manager, as an associate vice president, as a vice president, basics don't change. That's what she pointed out. These small things have a huge difference. And if they have such a huge difference, why don't we implement it? Is what she is saying. So she pointed out some part of our conducive environment, and she pointed out some part of our connect. So let's talk about the connect. A lot of you in your breakout activities spoke about it, and a lot of you shared some of the insights as well related to that. Oops. So as we moved along with our group, and let me try and put it, this video and the learning with the kind of the way the behavior started changing within the organization. We started bonding with our team a little bit more. We started interacting a lot with our team a little bit more. While the environment is already taken care of, but then also that bond doesn't help if I or a team leader has with the team member. The bond has to be created between a team member and a team member, a team manager and a team leader, a team manager and with the team member. So somebody said that management should hear. I remember in one of the responses from one of the group, I think it was Mathurji's group who said that. I don't quite remember. But who is this management for a team member when he comes to work? All he does is he meets the team leader. He meets the team manager. He doesn't meet the vice president every day or the CEO of the company every day. For him, the management is the team leader and the assistant manager that he's meeting every day. So we need to be wary of the fact that yes, that interaction and connect has to happen with the team leader and with the manager, because for them, if they connect with them, they connect with the organization, because the connect with the organization and the organization goals will only happen if you connect with the team's goals. And the team's goal is going to happen if the person sitting next to me, who's the next team member, I understand his goals as well. So because no person can perform alone. If we are performing as a team, then as a team, every member has to perform together. So as we moved along, we created, an ideal condition and an ideal bonding within our team members. So we started, meeting our team for weekly trainings. We started doing, during the weekly trainings, we started doing some team engagement, started socializing a little bit. We started, we created a lab on the floor. We started people putting their research together and started sharing documents as part of these trainings. So everybody was in a project mode, motivated. I had a call, I have to write about it and I have to tell the whole team about it. If not by the Saturday training, we will do it. I'll do it tomorrow in the daily meeting that I had with the team every day. Why? Because that became their passion. They cared for the other employees, the other team members. As we moved along, they took initiatives. They said, I will take care of something. That only happens when from inside you are passionate. I heard the word passionate a lot. The passion comes with connection. The connection comes with an emotional connect. The emotional connect happens with a bonding. So with that, we also realized some people were good in communication, some people were good in technical. We could buddy up some people. When they buddy up, two people work together to help each other do better. It creates a bond between them. And yes, if two people just cannot work together, better to just make them the buddies. They'll automatically start connecting with each other and start understanding each other. The ego will not come in between. Every day, either in the team huddle, team meeting, or in the trainings, or general or extra appreciation, whether it is coming from the client, whether it is a general appreciation, whether appreciation for small initiatives taken by the team. When you just use the word thank you, good job, it matters. When it comes from, say, the manager himself, people just feel good about it. The team started bonding with each other. So we didn't have team members which were different units. I only handle this much, you take care of yours. My call I'm handling, you handle your call. No, we were a team. So when we started bonding more, we started becoming one team. And this is when our connect started happening. Because in our daily huddles, we used to meet, because human is a social animal and human will need always an opportunity to interact with the other humans. While there is a practical side that we all have, but we also have an emotional side. And that emotional side is our window to really make them implement the goals passionately. The practical side only understand these are the goals, but those goals can only be implemented if the emotion side accepts those goals and says that, yes, I want to implement it. I have a reason to do it. If I have a reason to do it is when the team goal becomes a common goal for everybody. So when they started connecting, and this is where I'm going to share some of the connect, what are the key areas? I'm sure there are broader windows to it, but I'll only pick up the ones which are really key takeaways for the team that we were discussing, and general, because a lot of them cover most of the bonding areas. While along with meeting and connecting with team members, it's also important to ensure that we remember these points as well. I'll also share an example. I just told you about, one gentleman, who is worried about his mother being unwell. And then later on, that person meets you after 2 days. And if you are the manager, or a senior manager who interacted and shared the doctor's number, wouldn't you want to go back and meet that person? Or when you see him in the lift, wouldn't you want to ask, how is your mother doing? Because that creates a connect. You immediately start thinking that the person cares for me. The organization cares for me. I should be passionate about this organization and this organization's goals. So a little acknowledgement helps in the long run. A little appreciation helps in the long run. So it's not only about the good things. Acknowledgement is also acknowledgement of a person as an individual, whether whatever he did or said. Do you even remember? Were you even genuine with that person when you were speaking to that person? Take ownership of the team. If it is a fall, take a fall along with the team. If it is a win, take the win along with the team. Don't take credit for I did it. The team did it and we all did it together. Meet the team regularly. This is where we fail. We have so many reports, so many other meetings and everything to do. But if you don't meet the team, please spend 5 minutes, with them, maybe to celebrate, maybe just to have a conversation. It means a lot to them because it gives you a feeling that I belong here. Somebody cares for me. Visibly lead the team, lead from the front, follow open door policies, ensure transparency and give them comfort to come and share their ideas, thoughts, grievances, most of all, because grievances will not let them move forward and not let them concentrate on their work and not let them bond as well. Encourage informal connection between teammates and use it for the advantage of the team. Don't let that grapevine set, but encourage them to socialize a little bit. Sort that conflict at the right time, because if it is not sought at the right time, say people had a conflict, a team leader and a team member, sort it then and there. If you leave it for a month to, spoil and get rotten, it can create a lot of damage. It can even create damage to the team's unity. Don't do that. Immediately fix it. Immediately pick it up, no matter how busy you are. Just take care of it and ensure that it happens. So as we started performing, we started doing better. We realized that, our dashboards, which were earlier on a red, as in we were not meeting any of the metrics, we started going towards green. But again, in order to standardize everything else, we needed to look at the last, but not the least, the 4th C, which was, anybody remembers? Clear-cut HR and training policies. A lot of you pointed out, and I know Anil sir also pointed out, that the leader should ensure that people are trained and should lead from the front and ensure that they themselves train and train others as well. So yes, the visibility of training is not only required only for the job, but people also want to look at career progression. Everybody in an organization would want to grow with the organization, would want to do better. So initially they'll just start, they want to learn how to handle the process. Then they want to learn skills. They want to take responsibilities, do better in those responsibilities and grow. So upskilling is required for people to unite, to stay coherent in the team, to add value in the team. So on need basis, upskilling is required, a training visibility is required at all time. But correct skilling is also required. Now, a correct skilling could also mean that a person might be fit for one job, but might not be fit for the other job. Maybe he's failing miserably in handling, resolutions that he has to give for a desk jet or a scan jet. Maybe a right skilling could be that maybe he can handle the connectivity of the printer with the mobile better. Maybe he understands mobile technology better. So correct skilling and then retraining at times is required. You need to move people, not fire them. Give them an opportunity to do better somewhere else. Because if you start firing people, remember, you have taken a month to hire this person and decide on him. If you fire him, probably you're losing a resource. So give it the best try and ensure that they get that. And this is one thing I learned from HP. I always used to work in organizations where, if anything would go wrong, blame an employee and fire them. That doesn't work. Somebody hired him, he had that skill, he had the talent. Maybe he's not for this process. Maybe he'll do better in that process. Within this team that I'm particularly talking about, we had a lot of people move into the technical group, and we had somewhere around a lot of positions that were opened in some of the other technical processes, and we let go of around 20 to 25 people, and they did very well over there. So yes, right skilling at times is required in an organization. HR visibility. Is there a question?
Yes.
Habib?
No, I think it's just a disturbance. I've muted.
So HR policies and framework are very important. HR has to be visible. One has to see that there is, role of HRs. There are no shifting goals that are happening. Every day there is not a new leave policy. Some of the basics have to be put in place by HR. But some of the issues related to incentive, remuneration and all that only happen if the HR presence is there and they understand all the rules and are able to answer these. Because if a person is doing transactions and doing the work and his salary doesn't state what was promised, the person is always worried. And when he's taking a call, how will he perform? He will also be a leak in the team. He might be the one who spread the negativity. HR presence helps to solve that, helps them to understand how it is. And if they have a certain goal, how do they reach that goal? Because if it is a career progression goal, how do they reach the career progression has to be done in a certain way. And that can be done when HR and training work hand in hand along with the team manager and the management to ensure that it happens for all the employees. And visibly, when people start getting promoted, you're motivated to be part of the organization. You are motivated to be part of that team that is growing and performing. One of the other area in terms of policy is review mechanism. Why it is sitting here is in a lot of organizations, what is considered as an yearly appraisal system. Redundant, but truthfully doesn't give any effect. Why? Because from the performance point of view and from the team management point of view, people can only perform better if they receive daily, weekly, and monthly reports. If I come to know how was my performance today, how was my performance month to date, I know that how do I achieve my performance at the end of the month. If I am given feedback basis that, it helps. So that review mechanism has to be there to explain it to me. Dashboards is a form of lot of data converted into simple statistics, which is easy for the human brain to understand. If that can be provided, nothing like it. A regular feedback, and I mentioned that, but when we talk about the daily, weekly report, a lot of organizations have moved into a mechanism of regular feedback. And not only HR dependent, it is also dependent on the team manager or the processes to implement it so that people know where is it that they're going wrong, how can they do better. timely reports and data management is one of the way, saving the reports, keeping it, giving it. So creating the reports doesn't help. Interpreting the reports doesn't help. Creating performance reports doesn't help. As far as the person who is the receiver of that information and who will be able to make the change basis that would be able to implement it. So hence it has to reach the right person. You can review for all you want, but you must use it for the person to review himself, because when everybody starts reviewing themselves, then automatically high performance happens. Then automatically people can see that where is it that my team is standing versus the other teams. When you start comparing the teams, you start looking at the statistics of your team, other teams, and the teams which are in the other centers that are there. You start saying that, okay, you know, my center is doing so much, the other center is doing that much, I will be better on that center. That is only possible if all 100 of us who are performing, who are working in this center, are able to focus towards it and reach there, and we work in coherence and have one objective to do that. So all in all, with all of these things put in place, with all the initiatives that we took, our CSAT scores were better, our quality scores were higher, our attrition was really low, our client was happy, bosses were happy, teams were happy, and the most important thing, we were able to retain the business, because the client earlier was taking the business back to Australia, but we were able to retain the business here in our center, and they were happy that we were performing very well. So let me sum up the whole summation of, you know, the secret to high performance team. Be a team player yourself to be part of a high performance team. So always look at me. Am I a team player? Am I the reason that things are moving forward? If everybody does that, everybody is a team player then. We need to build some of the team dynamic habits, which are really important. And first of all, we need to start thinking that just stop the blame game. Somebody else did it wrong. Somebody else made make the mistake. Don't do the blame game. Just find out, what can I do better? Be a problem solver, not a problem creator. Start using we instead of I, because that helps. And then building these team dynamic behaviors, which I call the 4 C's. Communicate in a timely manner. Use language that builds relation and not breaks it. Treat people the way you would like to be treated. Don't hold important communication just because you're afraid of a reaction. Learn to understand statistics and trends and publish and communicate consistently and regularly. Create a conducive environment. Avoid conflicts in public. Help team members resolve their issues and conflicts in a timely manner. Create a conducive culture, a culture where they can thrive. Become a problem solver always, and always back up your team. If they need help, be there for them and have a very, very good idea for it. So always be prepared, always ensure that you have a backup in your mind that is running. Connect with all the team members. Team members need to have mutual admiration for each other. They need to connect with each other like a family. I agree, family fights, but family bonds. Family stays together. No matter what happens, the family is always together. If every team member feels like a family, you are connected and you are going to give high performance. Have clear-cut HR and training policies that are implemented. No shifting goals and policies. Ease the mind of all the employees, team leaders, team members, managers. Ease their mind by having robust HR policies so that they can concentrate on their work. Empower them to perform and help them grow by using training effectively. If you have all of this in place, then you will be able to manage a consistently high performing team. In true sense, a dream team. So I have been part of a dream team, and using this mantra, this formula, this secret, I have been able to move a lot of teams into a bonded, performing, high performance dream. So I have been part of such dream teams in the past. And once I've shared the formula with you all, would you like to lead a dream team? Thank you. I'm open to any questions.
Thank you, Neetika. So the platform is open now for any questions that we may have.
Can I come, please?
Please go ahead.
Yes, Anil.
Mr. Anil.
Yes, sir. Excellent session, excellent session. I don't have any question, but we have learned, this cognitive science and implicit learning. Now we have learned it, and we understand our reptilian, limbic, and cortex system. So we know we are on a better footing now to be a better leader. Emotionally, we understand more by applying these principles, what we have learned from Arun sir, especially these young boys and girls. So they can apply these principles. So what we have learned, like limbic, emotionally, we understand archetypes and all those things. You can be a huge gain will be there when you go to your organization. Thank you very much, Neetika. Salute to you. Thank you. God bless.
Very nice presentation, Neetika.
Thank you very much, sir.
It was very informative and very comprehensive. And the beauty of it was that you brought out your own personal experience and your, how you solved it and how you handled it. That was very nice. Very valuable insight. Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Arun sir. I think all this is only possible because, you've been a big guidance. And truthfully, while preparing the case study, I wrote it, but all I was thinking was transition, priming, opening, body, closing. So great insights, like Anil sir said that you put that. So all that has only come because you told us how to chisel things out and, put it together. So really appreciate it.
As expected, you are done really well. Great. Yeah.
Thank you.
Yes. Neetika ji, you are Harvard graduate MBA.
I have done a 1-year Harvard management program. In which year was it? In 2010.
You remain in US.
अनपढ़ है बाबा, है नेतिका, हम तुम्हारे सामने अनपढ़ हैं बिल्कुल.
No, I did it in here. They had offered it for our organization, so
Beautiful.
I enrolled as part of the organization and I completed it.
1 year. Otherwise, it is very difficult to.
Sir, अभी तो टॉपर हो, अनिल सर.
Yes sir.
अभी तो टॉपर हो पंजाब यूनिवर्सिटी के.
मैं कहाँ गया, मैं पंजाबी.
God मेरे से सर.
मैं पंजाबी लैंग्वेज का टॉप. Which I have forgotten now.
So since we are talking about high performance, so Neetika is open for questions on high performance when it comes to high performing teams, managing them.
Yes, Nagi sir.
No, I'm just saying.
तो recording बंद कर दो, नहीं तो बाद में चलता रहे chatting.
Yes, Nagi sir. Yes,
I'm
thank you.
just to acknowledge that you've done a very good job.
Yes.
And
Thank
you
you.
have the message driven so effectively. And you did it passionately. Thank you.
Thank you so much.
Yes.
Passionately is the word. But you
Yes,
don't know my legs
indeed.
were shaking.
Yes.
Yes, indeed, Neetika, you have
Yes,
helped us
done.
put civility back in fashion when we are looking at the secrets of managing high performance teams, and also how you have summed it so well. It's the communication, it's the human connect, the clear-cut policies, and the conducive environment to civility. So simple and very effective, and it coming from your own experience. So I'm sure all of us are going to pick up the nuggets today. So thank you very much, everyone.
Thank you.
So if you have a question, please feel free, and we have lots to congratulate her post the session then.
We congratulate only.
It was an honest attempt, Neetika. Good one.
Neetika,
Thank you.
अतुल
you have done.
आप एक्सपर्ट एडवाइस दो ना.
Thank
She
you,
has got my
Mathurji.
30
Thank you,
years
Narun
experience
ji.
in 1.5 hours.
Eh?
My 30 years experience, she has summed up in 1.5 hours.
she has beaten us, everybody. Everybody.
I'll have to listen to her video to see what is she saying between the lines, because there's so much she has passed on.
Huge knowledge she has given.
So another wonderful session today, a knowledge sharing session by Ms. Neetika. So congratulations to you, Neetika. And for all of us on the platform, we have another evening coming up tomorrow with Ms. Tasneem Bhopalwala. So for healthy living, let's look at asanas equal to equanimity. That is the session for tomorrow. See you all at 6 p.m. A very good night and take care, take rest, stay safe.
Pooja, where are the photographs and the details? I was unaware of this.
Sir, I will just
Totally unaware. Even the link has not been created yet.
Okay, so I'll just check it. I'll just check it and resend it to you if it hasn't been sent already. I'll just send it again, sir.
Pooja ma'am.
Yeah.
I don't think we will be able to create the posters at this late hour. But you send it immediately then.
Yeah, I'll resend it to you, sir. I'll send it right away.
Recording बंद कर दो, वैसे chatting चलती है.
So we are closing the session now. So Arun sir, I'll be ending the session here then. We can move on to our DMT group for our personal chats.
I was just asking Pooja.
Yeah, thank you, sir.
Yeah, you were saying about Tasneem ma'am, asanas. So here's a bit of coining the word. From asana to sasana. Sasana is administration. When you adapt at asanas, you become adept at the administration as well. Asanas to sasana. Okay. Okay.
Okay. Okay, a good night then. Yes.